All because I was born with red and green birthmarks that scared my mother into fainting. And in the royal family, non-dragon and phoenix twins are considered unlucky. Of same-sex twins, only one can stay in the palace. The other must be sent to a harsh, cold land, forbidden to marry or have children for life. So, I, who was originally supposed to stay, was named by my mother to be sent away. Before I left, the emperor made a point to see me. Bring the child up. Let me see how terrifying her birthmarks are. To have scared consort Shu into fainting. Me? Is imperial father here? Wah, these beautiful birthmarks of mine. How are they scary at all? Besides, these birthmarks are actually very useful. The emperor took my hand and paused. This soft, childish voice. Lin Yixiao almost threw me, the baby in his hands, out. Lin Yixiao looked up and calmly asked the eunuch beside him. Did you hear anything? The eunuch was visibly startled. Your Majesty, this servant did not hear anything. Looking at me in the swaddling clothes, Emperor Zhongwen thought he truly was the son of heaven. He could actually hear his daughter's thoughts. My imperial father is indeed handsome and majestic, so heroic. I waved my little hands and feet. As I moved, Emperor Zhongwen also clearly saw the blue and red birthmarks covering my body. This child seems to have a serious problem with her aesthetic sense. These birthmarks, all blue on the left, all red on the right, very strange. Even if she is a princess, finding a marriage match when she grows up will be a huge problem. Who would have thought that the usually silly consort Shu made the right choice this time? This unmarriageable one is perfect to send away, to spend her life with prayer beads and ancient Buddha statues. Emperor Zhongwen lowered his head, thinking, where would be suitable to send this daughter? Then he saw a flash of green before his eyes. Smack! He felt a pain on his face. Was he just slapped? Before he could react, he heard the little one in his arms speak again. Huh? Just by touching someone with my green hand, I can know all their merits and faults in life. Let me take a look. Person. What kind of person is imperial father? Huh? What a pity. Such a diligent and caring emperor for his people is actually short-lived. How dare you dare to say he's short-lived? Eunuch Yan, take her away. Send her to the great desert, never to enter the palace again. As your majesty commands. Huh? How did I get exiled to the frontier? I don't want to go to the desert. Why, even though he doesn't have many years left, but since I'm already here, let me experience the princess life a bit. Eunuch Yan took me, seeing my hands and feet flailing non-stop, and my mouth wailing loudly, very annoying. A baby disliked by the emperor isn't worth his careful treatment. Eunuch Yan clamped me tightly under one arm. His other hand came to cover my mouth. His movements were rough. Suddenly, a green flash, and I slapped him across the face. Ouch! What kind of baby is this? How is it so strong? That slap really hurt. The eunuch's sinister eyes bore into me in his arms. You little brat. Once we're out of the emperor's sight, I'll skin you alive. I was terrified by the eunuch's sinister glare. I stopped crying for a moment. When my brain processed the young scroll's information, I shouted at the emperor on the dragon throne. Imperial father, save me. This eunuch is no good. He's pinching me. I'm only half a day old, and he dares to lay hands on me. Ah, imperial father, he's not a real eunuch. He has a little bird. His marriage line is even connected to a concubine in the harem. Emperor Zhongwen, on the dragon throne, didn't want to pay me any more attention, but hearing about the little bird made him prick up his ears. Could that bird be what he thinks it is? He's cuckolded you. The tea you drink every day is also laced by him. Hearing this, Emperor Zhongwen could no longer sit still. Wait! Bring the child back. Emperor Zhongwen's voice stopped Eunuch Yan from leaving. Imperial father, don't abandon me. I'll be good. Back in Emperor Zhongwen's arms, I clung desperately to the emperor's robes, crying at the top of my lungs, trying to awaken an emperor's paternal love with a pitiful display. This trick actually worked a little. Emperor Zhongwen is 30 this year. He only has 2 sons. The eldest is 10. The youngest is 5. The one in his arms is his newly born daughter. Hush now, hush. Go to the imperial hospital and summon Li Zhizhen. See what's wrong with the princess. Why is she crying so much? Emperor Zhongwen was annoyed by my crying, but he still wanted to hear what else I might say. When Li Zhizhen arrived, he saw the emperor in his dragon robes, carefully cradling and soothing a baby in the great hall. Seeing the imperial physician arrive, he quickly handed off the hot potato. Take a look. Why won't the princess stop crying? Is she unwell? The physician stays. Everyone else, leave. Eunuch Yen, standing guard nearby, didn't move. Normally, he wouldn't need to withdraw in such situations. He was someone the emperor trusted. Eunuch Yen, you leave as well. Eunuch Yen was taken aback. Though puzzled, he immediately complied, bowing and withdrawing. The physician placed his hand on my exposed left wrist. He couldn't help but marvel inwardly. In all his years of practice, he'd never seen such a green birthmark. My green hand touched the physician, and the yang scroll activated. What a truly good man. A benevolent heart, a national treasure of a physician. A benevolent heart, healing the sick, a national treasure of a physician. Your Majesty, the little princess is fine. She's crying probably because she's wet. The physician got a handful of urine. The child is uncomfortable from the sting. No wonder she's crying. Oh, how embarrassing. A baby can't hold it in. I drank too much goat milk earlier, so naturally, there's more pee. Emperor Zhongwen was also embarrassed. He looked at the dampness on his hand. He thought it was sweat. Ugh, he actually touched urine. Today has been an eye-opener. Slapped in the face, and now drenched. This little one has some nerve. After washing his hands, Emperor Zhongwen looked at the imperial physician and said, Li Shizhen, do you have any poison testing tools? Yes, I brought silver needles. Check if there's anything wrong with the food on the table. As you command. This is no small matter. Li Shizhen quickly took out his tools and meticulously examined everything. He didn't overlook a single suspicious spot. The more Li Shizhen checked, the more uneasy he felt. He checked everything but found nothing wrong. Sweat kept streaming down his face. After a quarter of an hour, he reported to the emperor, This old servant is incompetent. I could not find anything. Of course he couldn't find anything. The fake eunuch isn't stupid. He wouldn't dare to poison things so openly. The fake eunuch is like a toad. He doesn't bite, he just disgusts you. The things imperial father loves to eat, he spat on all of them. Ugh, damn eunuch Yen. He'll have him drawn and quartered. Sitting on the dragon throne, Emperor Zhongwen angrily smashed a teacup. This terrified imperial physician Li, who was kneeling on the ground. Your Majesty, spare me. My skills are lacking. Li Shizhen knelt before the throne with his head bowed. His body trembled uncontrollably. Emperor Zhongwen was not an emperor who killed innocents indiscriminately. He waved his hand, dismissing Li Shizhen. You may leave. You know what should and shouldn't be said, right? This humble servant takes his leave. What a piece of work, eunuch Yen, sleeping with his women, and daring to spit in his food. Can't think about it anymore. If he thinks about it anymore, he'll throw up. Emperor Zhongwen looked down at the sleeping me. He was now certain I wasn't an ill omen, but a lucky star sent by heaven to protect Tianqi. Looking at eunuch Yen who had just entered, Emperor Zhongwen narrowed his eyes dangerously. As soon as eunuch Yen entered, he saw the emperor looking at him. It seemed like he wanted to kill him. Serving the emperor is like serving a tiger. He must have angered his majesty by making me cry earlier. He angered the emperor. Your Majesty, this servant is guilty. I frightened the princess. Please punish me. Seeing eunuch Yen being so tactful, Emperor Zhongwen didn't hold back. He flew into a rage. Get out. Don't come in unless I call for you. Emperor Zhongwen told himself to be patient. Before finding the mastermind behind this, he mustn't tip our hand. He needed to find out quickly which concubine dared to cuckold him. He'd execute her entire clan. Emperor Zhongwen held me and paced around the hall. He soothed me, while calming his own anger. After he calmed down, he saw that I had already fallen asleep in his arms. The calmed Emperor Zhongwen began to think. Those with the power to place eunuch Yen by his side. In the entire rear palace, there were only a handful. The little princess can see the red thread, right? Then let the little princess follow the thread to find out. Who is so bold? Eunuch Shi, deliver an edict. A palace banquet will be held in 2 hours, to celebrate my joyous acquisition of a princess. All concubines in the rear palace must attend. The maternal clans of those at the rank of imperial consort or above must also attend. From the civil and military officials, invite a few of the most active ones recently. Just a few. Wah. 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 The quiet hall was suddenly pierced by a sharp infant's cry. I'm so hungry, so hungry. I need milk. My bottom's cold too, boo-hoo. I've regressed to an age where I can't even control my own waist. So tragic. Emperor Zhongwen's mouth twitched. His little daughter really dared to say anything. Attendants. The little princess is awake. Attend to the princess, change her clothes and feed her. The palace maids filed in and carried me to the side chamber. Soon, the sound of my loud crying came from the side chamber. Wah 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 wah. The cries shook the heavens. Boo-hoo, are you bullying me because I'm a baby who can't talk? Who in the world dared to pinch me? With a loud bang, the door to the side chamber was kicked wide open by Emperor Zongwen. He was filled with fury, and strode inside. The emperor's livid expression frightened the maids inside, and they all knelt down. Even I, who had been crying non-stop, wisely fell silent. Emperor Zongwen walked straight towards me. He discovered several crescent-shaped marks on my inner thigh. These are fingernail marks. How dare you? Now even a palace maid dares to abuse the imperial offspring right in front of him. Who gave you the nerve to dare pinch the princess? Drag them out and execute them by caning. Your Majesty, spare us. Your Majesty, it was Yuan Qing who pinched the princess. Spare us. Eunuch Shi, who had followed the emperor in, saw His Majesty's puzzled look. He quickly stepped forward to explain. Your Majesty, this Yuan Qing is the daughter of the Minister of Revenue. The daughter of the Minister of Revenue. What impressive airs. Send Yuan Qing back and tell Minister He that we cannot employ his daughter. The others, drag them out and execute them by caning. Several maids tried to beg for mercy, but the guards who entered covered their mouths and dragged them out. I was shocked. They're being executed just like that? I was just pinched a few times. How did it end up costing several people their lives? Imperial father, don't kill them. It doesn't hurt anymore. Really, she just pinched me lightly. Boo-hoo-hoo, please spare them. Emperor Zongwen did not follow my wish to pardon the maids from execution, but looking at me, clearly frightened, Emperor Zongwen sighed, as if speaking to himself, and also as if explaining to me. He said, my daughter, you were born into the imperial family. You can be kind, but not overly kind. That will cost you your life. Moreover, imperial authority cannot be defiled. They were in the wrong first. Being sent home like this, Yuan Qing's fate might not be any better than these executed maids. The maids other than Yuan Qing are not. Knowing Yuan Qing was disrespectful to the princess, and not stopping her makes them equally guilty. At the same time, at the palace banquet, it's been over 2 hours now. Why hasn't the emperor arrived yet? Keep your voice down. Haven't you seen the empress's face? It's so dark it could drip water. It's just a princess born of a concubine. When the empress gave birth to the crown prince, it wasn't this grand. I heard the emperor hasn't come, because the princess hasn't woken up yet. This, for the sake of an infant, making so many important court officials wait. It's utterly outrageous. Sure. What nonsense are you saying? If you don't value your life, don't drag us down with you. At that moment, Eunuch Shi entered the hall. He announced loudly to the crowd, the emperor has arrived. Emperor Zongwen personally carried me and sat on the dragon throne. He swept a majestic gaze over everyone in the hall. Then he slowly began to speak. Thank you for your patience. Today, I am blessed with 2 daughters. This is the little princess. I am exceedingly fond of her. Congratulations, Your Majesty. We rejoice in the birth of the princess. Good, good, all is well. Let the banquet commence. Emperor Zongwen looked at me, still listless in his arms. He recalled how exceptionally clever the crown prince was at birth. He loved shiny things. Eunuch Yen. I remember the Eastern Dynasty envoy once presented a tribute, a luminous pearl the size of a fist. Go and fetch it. I shall give it to the little princess to use as a night light. The crowd, already astonished to see the emperor holding me on the throne, was now even more shocked to hear he would give me such a precious pearl. Their astonishment grew. Emperor Zongwen placed the luminous pearl in my hand. Immediately, the sound of my delighted cheers rang in his ears. Ah, so this is a luminous pearl. It's so beautiful. Look, there's a sparkle in my eyes again. Only then did Emperor Zongwen's anxious heart settle. My princess deserves the finest things in this world. Happily clutching the pearl, I suddenly shuddered. A murderous intent. Someone is looking at me with malice. Who is it? But an infant's vision is far too limited. I could only crane my neck to look in one general direction. Emperor Zongwen followed my gaze. His eyes met the empress's. Meeting her gentle gaze, the vexations of his day dissipated for the most part. His empress was the one he set his heart on at first sight when he was still a prince. She had just come of age, He couldn't wait and begged the late emperor for their marriage. After ascending the throne, he immediately conferred her the title of empress. Not long after, he also designated their first child as the crown prince. Sadly, the crown prince died of a chill at the age of 3. After that, no matter how hard he tried, the empress never conceived again. The empress walked slowly to the emperor's side. She reached out, took me, and examined me carefully. She's so lovely, fair, and plump. Emperor Zongwen shook his head with a bitter smile. This daughter of his only had a pretty face. The parts hidden under the swaddling clothes were quite frightening. Chunlan, bring the longevity locket I prepared for the princess. I immediately dropped the luminous pearl. Using all the strength in my little hands and feet, I grabbed the longevity locket and wouldn't let go. Oh my goodness, it's gold. And solid gold. Wow, the emperor and empress are so rich. I really want to enjoy this good life for many more years. I've decided. I'll work hard to help Imperial Father, help him change his fate, let him live a long life. Emperor Zongwen nodded repeatedly. A daughter really was better, his own personal, considerate little darling. In a moment of reckless joy, I started waving my arms and legs again. A green hand broke free from the swaddling clothes. With a slap, it struck the empress's face. Ah! The empress cried out in shock and loosened her grip. I plummeted straight down. Fortunately, the emperor was quick-eyed and swift-handed. He caught me just before I hit the ground. A child only 1 day old. If I had really fallen to the ground, I'd be dead or crippled. Just as Emperor Zongwen was about to reprimand the empress, he heard my exclamation in his ear. Yet what I said next would leave an indelible mark on Emperor Zongwen's memory. To be continued. So the empress was the mastermind all along. The fake eunuch's red thread was actually tied to the empress's foot. Imperial Father, you must be careful of this woman. The empress hates you. She hates you with every fiber of her being. Emperor Zongwen staggered, feeling dizzy for a moment. Is what I'm saying true? Emperor Zongwen had suspected everyone, but he never once suspected it would be the empress. Because he knew the empress loved him to the bone. The atmosphere grew tense instantly. Everyone held their breath, because the emperor and empress were locked in a standoff on the stage. Your Majesty, your servant did not mean to. This child struck first. I've been hit by her too, yet I didn't accidentally drop a child. How could a child born just 1 day ago survive such a fall? After speaking, he ignored the empress and addressed eunuch Shi beside him. Announce my decree. The empress has failed in her virtue. She is to be confined to Jingren Palace for half a year to reflect on her actions. I do not accept this. The empress wanted to argue further, but Emperor Zongwen had no desire to listen. With a wave of his hand, palace attendants came to escort the empress away. The empress still had her pride. Seeing the emperor ignore her, she was so angry she forgot her manners. She flung her sleeve and stormed out of the hall. Emperor Zongwen's thoughts were in turmoil. Then he felt a warm, wet sensation on his chest. I peed on him again. I will take the princess to change her clothes. You all may begin the feast. I will return shortly. With both the emperor and empress gone, the bolder consorts began to leave their seats. They headed towards their maternal families below the stage. They were actually quite grateful to me. They rarely got to see their own families. Saying they didn't miss them would be a lie. Today, the emperor showed mercy by summoning their maternal families. It was a rare opportunity. The consorts could reunite with their families. They were truly overjoyed. In the side chamber, the emperor ordered a palace maid to change my clothes not far from him. He desperately wanted to know why the empress would do such a thing. The empress believed Imperial Father had the crown prince killed to solidify his power. Is Imperial Father really such a ruthless person? Emperor Zongwen was trembling with rage. His own wife doesn't believe him. I believe Father Emperor wouldn't harm his own child. Emperor Zongwen felt a pang of guilt for some reason. He wouldn't kill his own son, but he's certainly not a good man in the true sense. He almost sent this little ancestor to the desert just now. Luckily, babies have short memories. The story about the emperor killing his son came from the empress's own father. Between her lover and her family, the empress chose her family. Sigh, why didn't the empress choose herself? Being in the middle of it all. Are her eyes and heart just for decoration? Before the crown prince fell ill, the position of grand commandant was vacant. The empress's father, Xiaozi, was already the pacification general, second rank. Xiaozi wanted to climb even higher in the court. The crown prince was 3 at the time. The crown prince's maternal grandfather holds military power. No emperor would agree to that. So whose path was the crown prince really blocking? Foolish empress. She actually believed the words of the man who killed her child. Pathetic and ridiculous. His son. His first child. It's not just the empress who's foolish. He's just as foolish as she is. Xiaozi vied for military power, killed the crown prince, and ruined the empress. His wicked ambition is plain for all to see. If he hadn't heard my thoughts today, he'd probably still be completely unprepared. After realizing this, Emperor Zhongwen broke out in a cold sweat. Thankfully, there's still time. The Xiao family better get ready, he's coming for them. After composing himself, he had the palace servants take me back to Chuhua Palace. Emperor Zhongwen returned to the palace banquet. He's going to drink until he drops tonight. The banquet was in its second half. The atmosphere was lively. When the emperor arrived, many concubines tried to return to their seats, but Emperor Zhongwen stopped them. It's a family banquet today, just enjoy yourselves. Emperor Zhongwen was in a gloomy mood. After a few drinks, he took his cup and walked down from the dais. Ministers, is there anything you need this emperor to do for you? Everyone was looking at each other. No one dared to move. Prime Minister Wu De glanced at the emperor's expression. He sighed. He stepped forward. Your Majesty, there's something I'm not sure if I should mention. Speak. I'm asking, so go ahead. Tell me his saddest story, so he can cheer up. Well, my only son is already 20 years old, but he refuses to marry and have children. To be honest, the head tax, I've been paying it for 5 years straight. I was hoping your Majesty could help arrange to find a wife for my good-for-nothing son. The Wu family line must not end with him. A young man who had been drinking merrily in the corner hurried over. He knelt and kowtowed. Your Majesty, don't listen to my father's nonsense. It's not that I don't want to marry. I just haven't met anyone who makes my heart flutter. If she doesn't make me happy, I won't accept even an imperial arranged marriage. You wretched beast, how dare you speak to His Majesty like that? Your Majesty, I have failed your trust. I can't even manage my own son. As he spoke, the Prime Minister actually shed tears of sorrow. I will take care of your son's matter. Don't worry, this is my specialty. I can see the red threads of fate between people. Bring me over. Let me follow the threads to find him a wife. Someone, go to Chuhua Palace and bring the little princess. Tell Consort Shu I miss my daughter. Your Majesty, is that appropriate? Must we trouble the little princess with this? I am of noble status. The Empress was just severely punished. It's fine. My daughter is blessed with good fortune. Let your son hold the princess, to share in her good fortune. Let him hold the princess to share her fortune. I believe it won't be long before your wish comes true. I kowtow in gratitude for your Majesty's grace. Indeed, seeing others in misery made him feel much better. I'm in a good mood today. Who else has a problem? I'll solve them all. A faint voice came from the corner. Your Majesty, my daughter can't conceive. I want to bring her back home. And this is, Emperor Zhongwen doesn't recognize him. The eunuch beside him quickly explains. Your Majesty, this is Li Zong, the official in charge of astronomy and meteorology. The capital has had little rain for the past 6 months. He was recently transferred here from the provinces. Oh, step forward and speak. The emperor frowns. This official is so timid and hesitant. He speaks so softly I can barely hear him. When Li Zong finally approaches, Emperor Zhongwen sees he's a frail, elderly man. Hunched over, head bowed, he looks like a complete pushover. Unpleasant, but he promised earlier to help the ministers with their issues. Unpleasant or not, he has to ask. Speak, what's the matter? My only daughter has been married for 3 years. She still hasn't been able to conceive. I wish to bring my daughter back home. Do you think your daughter is suffering at her in-laws? You want me to step in and back her up? The atmosphere is very awkward. Li Zong says nothing. He just kneels on the ground, kowtowing repeatedly. Your Majesty, Minister Li has had too much to drink. As the saying goes, one should reconcile, not separate. What father would want his daughter to divorce? An official nearby sees Emperor Zhongwen's displeasure. He tries to pull Minister Li away. Your Majesty, please grant me an imperial decree. Let me bring my daughter home. Emperor Zhongwen frowns. To bring a daughter's matter to a palace banquet. He truly lacks propriety. He utterly despises such a doting father. Daddy, I'm here again. This time, my nanny put on super absorbent cotton padding. I won't pee on you again. Haha, his daughter is here. Because of my inner thoughts, Emperor Zhongwen, who has seen through several major events, now looks at me, with nothing but joy. Look how wonderful his daughter is. So understanding at such a young age. He really wants to tell me, what's there to fear about a baby's pee? It's not dirty at all. Glancing at Li Zong still kneeling on the ground, totally oblivious, blocking the path. His daughter can't even get through. He can only speak to Li Tsong impatiently. Granted, I'll write it for you right away, and I'll send a eunuch to your daughters-in-laws to deliver the decree. Thank you, Your Majesty. Li Tsong knelt and kowtowed to the emperor several times. Then he slowly rose and stepped aside, letting the palace maid holding me place me in the emperor's arms. Emperor Zhongwen took me. Only then did he see Consort Shu, also in formal attire, following behind. She was holding an infant in her arms. That must be his eldest daughter, whom he hasn't met yet. Consort Shu, you just gave birth. You should be resting. Your Majesty specially held this banquet for the princess. I wanted to come personally to thank Your Majesty. As she spoke, she tried to hand the eldest princess in her arms to the emperor. Consort Shu wanted to leave both princesses here, although unlikely, if there was even a slight chance. Consort Shu wanted to try. Emperor Zhongwen also wanted to see this eldest daughter, to see if she also had some special abilities like the younger one. Wu Yi, come hold my little princess. Get some of her good fortune, and hurry up and find a wife, so you can give the Prime Minister a fat, healthy grandson. With his arms now free, Emperor Zhongwen naturally took the eldest princess from Consort Shu. He examined her closely. Not as good looking as my little one. Why is her skin so dark? Like it's been scorched. Emperor Zhongwen gently patted the infant's cheek, trying to wake her. He wanted to see if she also transmitted inner thoughts like I did. But to his disappointment, his eldest daughter was a heavy sleeper. No matter how he teased her, she wouldn't wake up. He finally gave up. There's plenty of time. I can check another day. Consort Shu, you take her. He returned the eldest princess to Consort Shu and leaned back toward me. Emperor Zhongwen watched as my little hands took turns touching Wu Yi's face. My little head kept nodding, as if I'd discovered something interesting. TSK TSK TSK. An ancient straight man, with a family background like this, the Prime Minister's only son, and he still managed to become an old bachelor. He's single by his own merit. Wow, let me get a closer look. This red thread is so faint I almost missed it. Why is the thread so faint? What's going on here? A secret crush? Unrequited love? Hard to say. Better check with my left hand. Hey, you know what? The Prime Minister's only son is truly exceptional. His aura of virtue is so radiant. Such a beautiful color. He's a fine young man. If I get the chance, I'll make sure your red thread of fate is thick and strong. Emperor Zhongwen couldn't help but chuckle. Here I am, just 1 day old, and I'm already calling myself Big Sister. After the excitement died down, the next moment, my eyelids grew heavy, and I was about to fall asleep. Your Majesty, please allow this old minister to hold the princess as well. I too wish to bask in the princess's good fortune. Emperor Zhongwen, who had been eavesdropping on the gossip, was startled by the aged voice. Hold her. Emperor Zhongwen forced the word out through gritted teeth. This old man is so inconsiderate. Wu Yi was already fed up with my touching. Hearing someone was eager to hold me, he immediately handed me over. After all, he saw how I just peed all over the emperor. The emperor has clothes to change into. He does not. If he left the palace smelling foul, he'd be a laughingstock. Li Tsong carefully took me. Seeing I was about to fall asleep, he even rocked his arms, hoping to help me sleep better. I was just about to drift off. I opened my eyes and saw that the person holding me had changed. I instinctively reached out with my left hand. Who doesn't have a bit of a voyeuristic streak? As long as I press my left hand against someone, it's like watching a TV drama. Their entire life's merits and faults appear before my eyes, and I'm totally addicted to it. So whenever I get the chance, I'll check out anyone I can. Seeing me extend my little hand, Li Tsong, who had been observing from the side, understood my intention. He proactively lowered his head, allowing my hand to touch his face. In just an instant, I was so terrified by the vision before me that my whole body trembled. My face turned pale. Extreme fear made me forget to pull my hand back. I even forgot to cry. I could only keep receiving the record of Li Tsong's entire life. By the time Emperor Zhongwen noticed something was wrong with me, I was already so scared I'd forgotten to breathe. My little face was turning blue. Emperor Zhongwen carefully took me into his arms. I felt the familiar heartbeat. I let out a loud wah and cried uncontrollably. Seeing that I could breathe again, Emperor Zhongwen's anxious heart finally settled. Li Tsong was terrified. He knelt on the ground, kowtowing repeatedly and begging for mercy. Your Majesty, spare me. I am guilty. I haven't shaved in days. My beard must have pricked the princess. He's really gone senile. His old, leathery skin, how can it compare to my delicate, tender skin? Wu Yi curled his lip. He touched his own smooth, clean-shaven chin. For some reason, he felt a bit proud. By now, everyone in the hall was kneeling on the ground, waiting for Emperor Zhongwen to speak. Emperor Zhongwen's face was so dark it looked like water could drip from it. He gritted his teeth and said, "It's too late. Everyone, disperse." Then, holding me, he headed towards the inner chambers. At that moment, his heart was also extremely unsettled, because my inner voice at that moment was, "Wah, I want to go back to the modern era. You Lao, Mengpa, you two really screwed me over." That was terrifying. What did I just see? Exchanging children to eat. This is a living hell on earth. I don't want to be this princess anymore. This is no place for humans. Either the emperor dies young, or there are natural and man-made disasters. Man-made disasters can be prevented, but how do you avoid natural disasters? The clearer he heard it, the more Emperor Zhongwen's heart filled with dread. Those words had already silently surfaced in his mind. A year of great calamity, bodies left to rot in the fields, not a rooster's crow for miles. Why did I have to see such a scene? One child in exchange for the lives of all. To hell with that. Why don't you use your own child's blood for the sacrifice? Wah, I don't want to be bled dry. Born in an era of peace, I'd never seen such a horrific sight. This time, I was genuinely scared. Emperor Zhongwen could only hold me and pace back and forth in the hall. He paced for a full quarter of an hour before he finally managed to lull me to sleep. Even then, he couldn't put me down. I'd cry the moment he set me down. There was no other way, so Emperor Zhongwen had to sit at the imperial desk, holding me. He picked up his brush and wrote down the points I had mentioned. One child in exchange for the lives of all. Heavens! A blood sacrifice to the sky. Natural and man-made disasters. Putting these together, through Li Tsong, I foresaw that Tianqi will face a great calamity. Someone at court will force him to kill his child as a sacrifice. Ugh! Emperor Zhongwen spat out a mouthful of blood. His gaze fell on the bloodstain on his dragon robe. Is heaven trying to destroy Tianqi? No, that's not right. Heaven is trying to save Tianqi. Before the disasters strike, I've already given him an early warning. This little daughter of his is a blessed child sent by heaven to save Tianqi. With my help, even if a natural disaster comes, he won't let things deteriorate to such a tragic state. Having figured this out, Emperor Zhongwen called out to the empty hall. "Cold blade, appear before your emperor." The hall fell deathly silent. Emperor Zhongwen felt rather foolish. In a corner of the hall's beam, a figure in black hesitated, unsure whether to descend and see the emperor. But the emperor called for Cold blade, and that wasn't him. To go down or not was the question. Suppressing his anger, Emperor Zhongwen spoke again. "Who is on duty today? Show yourself." Good heavens, the Shadow Guard are incredibly skilled, but their heads aren't the brightest. Talking to them always infuriates him. A figure in black dropped down behind Emperor Zhongwen, startling him so much he nearly threw me, in his arms, to the ground. Again with this, their entrance is never in the same spot. Even though he expects it, he still gets startled by their sudden appearances. "Who are you? Where is Han Ren?" "Your Majesty, Captain Han is off duty." This humble servant is Xing Leng, second in command of the Shadow Guard. Emperor Zhongwen gritted his teeth, suddenly feeling sorry for himself. Even the guards get time off, but the emperor of a nation works year-round without a break, and now heaven itself is giving him trouble. He allowed himself a moment of self-pity. Within 2 hours, I want to see the dossier on Li Tsong, the meteorologist from the Imperial Observatory, and details on his daughter's marital family. The more detailed the better. Your servant obeys. Whoosh! The shadowy figure vanished. Emperor Zhongwen was speechless. Must they be so utterly silent and invisible? Exhausted from the day, Emperor Zhongwen held me and fell asleep on the dragon throne. But it was not a peaceful sleep. Perhaps his daytime worries invaded his dreams. He drifted through a series of nightmares. In his dream, he saw the horrific sight of parents swapping children to eat. He saw someone who had just died, being torn apart and devoured by starving refugees. He saw a mother bite her own finger and feed her child with her own blood, but the child still starved to death not long after. These were all his people. Only by witnessing such scenes firsthand did he realize they were far more horrific than words could describe. He also dreamed of the imperial court, where all the civil and military officials, led by Grand Commandant Xiao, were pressuring him to kill his own child. Your Majesty, the refugees have besieged the city gates for half a month. If we don't act now, once they breach the gates, your life will be in danger. Make a decision, Your Majesty." The young princess was born with the fate of a phoenix. The imperial diviner calculated that offering her blood to heaven and earth will bring rain. "Your Majesty, do it. One child for the lives of millions. You are forcing me to kill my own child, and one of my favorites." Emperor Zhongwen jolted awake. Ugh! A mouthful of blood sprayed from his mouth. He looked down at the fresh crimson stain on his dragon robe. His heart pounded in his chest. He actually coughed up blood over a dream. That dream felt so real. No, maybe it wasn't a dream at all. Looking at the sleeping me, this must be the vision I saw through Li Tsong. Such a tragic scene. Even awake, Emperor Zhongwen was still shaken. Whoosh! A shadowy figure placed a stack of documents on the imperial desk. Whoosh! Gone without a trace. Emperor Zhongwen felt nothing. That wave of desolate emotion had shattered. He picked up the dossier the shadow guards had just collected and opened to the first page. Li Tsong, an astronomical observer of the Imperial Observatory, 6th rank, responsible for observing and recording celestial phenomena, and forecasting imminent rainfall. He was quite skilled in weather prediction. Transferred up from Dashi village, Songshan town, half a month ago. The second page detailed Li Tsong's daughters-in-laws. Li Tsong's daughter is named Li Sisi. Her husband is Wang Ba. After Wang Ba's father died early, his clan seized all their family farmland. Mother and son lived in extreme poverty. Fortunately, Wang Ba was ambitious. He passed the county-level imperial exam at just 14. A child prodigy famous throughout the region, but his scholarly career stalled right there. He failed the provincial level exams several times in a row. Wang Ba's mother was getting old, and years of hard labor left her plagued by illness. She could no longer support his studies. To continue his education, Wang Ba proposed to Li Tsong, asking to marry Li Tsong's only daughter, Li Sisi. Li Tsong recognized Wang Ba's talent. Not only did he marry his only daughter to him, he also gave his own experience and connections to his son-in-law. Last year, Wang Ba passed the provincial exam, becoming a provincial graduate. Then things changed. He began to mistreat Li Sisi at every turn. Now he's even engaged to the county magistrate's daughter, planning to divorce Li Sisi on grounds of having no heir after 3 years. Li Tsong opposed the divorce. He only hoped Wang Ba would remember the support he'd given his studies over the years, and change the divorce notice to a mutual separation agreement. But Wang Ba refused. He closed the dossier. On the surface, it all seems normal. Li Tsong genuinely wants his daughter back home. Emperor Zhongwen tapped his fingers on the desk. It's a habit he's had for years. He'd always tap a few times when deep in thought. His tapping ended up waking me. Hungry. Need milk. Wait, he could ask me. Emperor Zhongwen picked up the report and read it aloud. Li Tsong's son-in-law is utterly shameless. He used his father-in-law's connections and resources. After passing the provincial exam, he became heartless and ungrateful. Let him be arrogant. His provincial scholar title is revoked. Let him rage, the breeze still brushes the mountain ridge. Let him be overbearing, the bright moon still shines over the great river. Still half asleep, I reflexively quoted a modern saying. No. Imperial father, Li Tsong's son-in-law is a good man. He's not trying to divorce his wife. He's putting on an act to help his father-in-law. The local magistrate is also a good man. They're all acting to help Li Tsong. Imperial father, you need to reflect on this. Your close ministers, except for the chancellor, seem rather useless. People in the provinces have to go through such trouble, putting on an act, just to get something useful reported to you. Having a daughter sure is useful. A few words from her cleared up his confusion. He called a palace maid to take me away for feeding. Emperor Zhongwen recalled. Recently in court, someone did mention the weather, but every time he tried to ask for details, the Xiao family would interrupt with supposedly more urgent matters. It seems the Xiao family has already begun to act. The Xiao family wants to use natural disasters as a pretext to find an excuse for rebellion. Xiao Zi would disregard the lives of the people just to become the new emperor. Xiao Zi is not fit to be the Tianqi emperor. Just as Emperor Zhongwen was thinking how to bring down the Xiao family, a man in black suddenly appeared in the center of the hall. Your servant Han Bing pays respects to your majesty. Speak. What is it? You have to be blunt when talking to these hidden guard guys, otherwise they won't understand. The empress is having an affair with eunuch Yan in her palace. This time it wasn't blood, it was water. Emperor Zhongwen spat out all the water he had just drunk. Emperor Zhongwen, holding me, appeared outside the empress's Jingren palace. He struggled with the decision for a long time. Finally, he gritted his teeth and brought me along. He's a bit paranoid right now. He doesn't feel secure doing anything without me. Even though this matter is rather dirty, he still ended up bringing me. Imperial Father, I'm so sleepy. Why did you bring me out so late at night? Emperor Zongwen murmured to himself, my little lucky charm. Your birth brought an auspicious sign. That's why I want to take you with me in everything I do. Whoa, really? Imperial Father, am I really that good? Ha ha ha. Then I'll work even harder to be your little lucky charm. To bless you with a long life, and the nation with peace and prosperity. Because of my few words of good fortune, Emperor Zongwen's tense body gradually relaxed. It will. Difficulties are only temporary. Tomorrow will be better. After taking a deep breath, Emperor Zongwen kicked open the door to the Empress's chambers, and strode inside. Smash the Empress's palace for me. Emperor Zongwen had made up his mind. He would cut the Gordian knot, using the Empress's debauchery in the palace as a pretext. He would wipe out the Shao family in one fell swoop. After dealing with the man-made disaster of the Shao family, the natural disasters deserved his full attention. Imperial Father, don't smash it. What a waste. This is all money. We'll need a lot of funds for the disasters later. Emperor Zongwen thought it was true and quickly ordered a halt. But the Empress's palace was his final line. It must be smashed, and smashed clean. Otherwise, his hatred would not be appeased. The Emperor held me in the main hall of Jingren Palace, waiting for the Empress and eunuch Yen to be brought up. Imperial Father, as the saying goes, if you want life to go smoothly, you gotta wear a little green on your head. Love can't overcome all obstacles. Compatibility can. You can't have it all. Gains and losses always go hand in hand. Regret is the norm in life. Looking at Imperial Father's livid face, many comforting words automatically surfaced in my mind. Too bad I'm too young, and Imperial Father couldn't hear these words. I couldn't comfort him. Heartbreaking, Emperor Zongwen held me tightly in his arms. The heart wounded by his wife was warmed by my pure, gentle love. This good mood lasted until the Empress and eunuch Yen were escorted in. I felt the body of Imperial Father holding me gradually tense up. His breathing also became unsteady. Imperial Father, this won't do. The angrier you are, the more pleased the Empress will be. You need to act like you don't care. The more indifferent you appear, the more frantic she'll become. But acting was his forte. Since things had come to this, Emperor Zongwen didn't want to argue with the Empress either. But there was one thing he had to make her understand. Empress, do you know who killed the Crown Prince? Before being brought here, the Empress had considered many possibilities. But she never imagined the Emperor would bring the prince's death into the open. You killed my son to secure your throne. You murdered your own child. You are unworthy of being the Tianqi Emperor. Fool, it was your dear father. He killed the Crown Prince to become Grand Commandant. You're lying. My father was already General of the Pacifying Army before becoming Grand Commandant, a second-rank official. Why would he want the Grand Commandant position? Why did you stop? Your father's ambition wasn't just about the Grand Commandant title. His ambitions are far greater. He is a treacherous rebel. He seeks to usurp the throne. Emperor Zongwen saw the Empress was beginning to waver. He decided to push things further. Guards, bring Jing Xi in. Ah! The Empress screamed, looking at the person being dragged in. A chill ran down her spine. This was barely human, beaten beyond recognition, covered in blood. Bamboo splints were driven into all 10 fingers. Are you Jing Xi? The Empress looked at the bloody figure before her with heartache. Jing Xi had served her since she was very, very young. She was the most foolish among all her maids, but also the one she trusted the most. Take your anger out on me. Isn't it beneath your dignity to do this to a palace maid? The Empress shouted at Emperor Zongwen. Ignoring the Empress, Emperor Zongwen looked at Jing Xi and said, Tell the Empress what you did. Seeing the Emperor so calm, the Empress suddenly had a bad feeling. She looked at Jing Xi again. She was suddenly terrified of Jing Xi speaking. Miss, I'm sorry. I have betrayed your trust. When Jing Xi called her Miss, the Empress froze. That's how Jing Xi addressed her before she was married. This maid she always thought was foolish, wasn't stupid at all. Calling her Miss, was she trying to remind her of their bond? Even if she were foolish, the Empress now knew this was serious, and she was not foolish. Speak. How have you wronged me? The master gave me a handkerchief. He said it was embroidered by the madam for the Crown Prince. He told me to use it to wipe the prince's mouth and hands. Not long after the prince started using it, he fell ill. A handkerchief? When did this happen? Why didn't you tell me then? The master said you must not know about the handkerchief. I didn't dare to speak of it. Later, when the prince was sick, Lana thought the handkerchief was pretty, so she took it. After the prince died, Lana also fell ill and passed. The empress staggers, as if her memory returns to that painful time. She remembers many in her palace did fall sick back then. Jingxi was also gravely ill. The empress remains silent for a long while. She dries her tears and looks at Emperor Zong with a resolute gaze. I confess my crime. But I have one request. I beg your majesty, for the sake of our bond as husband and wife, to grant me this. Emperor Zong looks at her and nods. I wish to witness the Xiao family's execution with my own eyes. Very well. Tonight is destined to be a sleepless night. Emperor Zong carries the sleeping me back to the Hall of Diligent Governance. He awaits news. Half an hour later, eunuch Shi leads the Imperial Guard commander into the hall. Your Majesty, the entire Xiaozi family is imprisoned in the dungeon. Good. Excellent. Did Xiaozi resist? No, my men caught them completely off guard. He had no time to react. Good, good. Eunuch Shi, reward the commander with 200 taels of silver. Thank you, your majesty. I didn't expect this man-made disaster to be handled so swiftly. I truly am his lucky star. Emperor Zong shouts into the air. Hidden guards, appear. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. 3 figures in black leap out from 3 directions in the hall. This servant is Qingyi. This servant is Hanren. This servant is Bingxua. Hanren, your rest period is over. Then it's you. Take men and protect Li Tsong's family, including his daughter and son-in-law's households. Right, also take Imperial Physician Li Zhizhen from the Medical Institute. Have him examine Wang Ba's mother. Yes, I obey the command. A rural cottage. Wang Ba stares at the suddenly appeared black-clad figure. His heart tightens. They've come to silence me. It seems my father-in-law's plan has failed. Overwhelmed with sorrow, Wang Ba thinks, come on, do it. I, Wang Ba, am not afraid. The man in black was taken aback. He seemed to have given Wang Ba the wrong idea. Well, the emperor sent us to protect Li Tsong, Minister Li's family. We heard your mother is ill. Wang Ba instantly flew into a rage. Your mother's the sick one. Your whole family's sick. Oh, Wang Ba spoke too hastily. He seems to be digging his own grave. The man in black sighed helplessly. This is Imperial Physician Li from the palace, specially arranged by the emperor, to treat your mother. Sniffle. I'm so touched. The emperor actually cares about his mother's illness. Wang Ba's knees went weak. He kowtowed several times toward the palace. He didn't rise until his forehead was bleeding. This must be the mutual devotion between ruler and subject that my father-in-law spoke of. Wang Ba's anxious heart, troubled for days, gradually settled. Back in the imperial city, Emperor Zongwen's swift and severe handling of the Xiao family's rebellion instantly intimidated all the restless factions at court. These past few days in court, the minister's attitude and efficiency in governance have greatly pleased Emperor Zongwen. After court that day, Emperor Zongwen headed, as usual, to Consort Shu's Chuhua Palace. He was going to see his little daughter. As eunuch Shi announced, His Majesty has arrived. Consort Shu came out to greet him with the 2 princesses. Your humble consort pays respects to your majesty. Rise. Have the princesses been fussy today? No, both children have been very well behaved. The elder princess loves to sleep, but the younger one is quite mischievous. Why does the older one sleep so much? Has a physician examined her? The emperor spoke as he went to look at his eldest daughter, who had grown a little paler. The physician has already examined her and said everything is normal. Besides, it's common for infants to be sleepy. Imperial father, you're finally here. Where are you taking me to play today? Consort Shu stole a glance at the emperor and sighed inwardly. The emperor really knows how to put on an act. The fact that she could hear her daughter's thoughts was discovered by the emperor in an instant. If the emperor hadn't said he could hear them too, she would never have noticed. Consort Shu marveled again. No wonder he became emperor. This level of acting is something ordinary people can't learn. Consort Shu watched the emperor carry me for a stroll in the imperial garden. Then she looked at her eldest daughter, still sleeping. Thanks to me, Consort Shu had been living her most comfortable life lately. Seeing the wind wasn't strong in the courtyard, she also wanted to go out for some fresh air. Rarely having such leisure, Consort Shu didn't let the maids or eunuchs follow. She strolled alone along the path at a leisurely pace. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. A strange laugh suddenly came from behind Consort Shu. Consort Shu stiffened. She felt a pair of icy hands clamp around her neck. Consort Shu had always known this deep palace harbored some dark and dirty things. She just never expected them to dare show themselves and harm someone in broad daylight. Consort Shu trembled all over, her teeth chattering as she said, "Seek revenge on those who wronged you. Go after the one who hurt you. I've been in the palace for so many years. I've never done anything wicked. I've never taken a life." At the same time, the eldest princess, who had been sleeping in her cradle, suddenly opened her eyes. She turned her head to look in the direction Consort Shu had left. Her previously dull and numb face now showed an extremely impatient expression. If the emperor and Consort Shu were here, they would hear the eldest princess's thoughts. Ugh, so annoying. That little chatterbox got taken away, and I finally got some peace and quiet. Now there's a female ghost bothering me. It was already annoying enough having my thoughts eavesdropped on. To avoid that, I had to sleep all day. Now that the floodgates of my pent-up mental world have opened, I can't hold back. She rambled on, before remembering her mother in this life was still being chased by a ghost. The infant in the cradle then moved her limbs. She silently crawled out of the cradle like an animal, and quickly scurried towards where Consort Shu was. Upon seeing Consort Shu, the eldest princess pouted. Exercise. Actually, encountering a ghost is good for a noble lady too. Look how much fun she's having with that ghost, running and jumping, screaming and shouting. The eldest princess predicted, "My mother will definitely sleep well tonight." Seeing the female ghost meant no harm, and that it could let her mother get some good exercise. Not bad. She slowly began crawling back. Having failed her tribulation, she was struck by lightning and sent to this other world. Her remaining magic power was precious, to be used sparingly. She needed to save it for life or death situations. "Ghost, please let me go. I really can't run anymore. I honestly can't run another step." Consort Shu simply lay on the ground, motionless. She'd never run so fast in her life, nor had she ever lain on the ground like this. Awaiting her death, Consort Shu looked up at the sky. From this angle, the sky was so blue. Too bad she might not see it again. A young palace maid suddenly let out a shriek. "Ah, Your Highness. What's wrong with you?" Consort Shu couldn't process it for a moment. Was that a human voice? Wah, she's still alive. I thought that female ghost was going to kill me this time. This kind of supernatural business. Even if Consort Shu were a fool, she couldn't tell anyone. But she was truly terrified. That very night, Consort Shu had her 2 daughters brought to her. Her bed was big anyway, adding 2 kids wouldn't be crowded. Because it was hot, the 2 children inside the bed curtains wore only little belly wraps. The 2 chubby little dumplings, just fed, weren't sleepy either. They just kicked their hands and feet on the bed. Utterly adorable. Consort Shu poked at this one for a bit, then nudged that one for a bit, enjoying herself immensely. "You 2 don't even look alike. Eldest, you're so dark. Who knows if you'll ever get fair again? If you stay this dark forever, it'll be hard to find you a husband later. Second, you're fair and clean-skinned. Your little face is pretty too. But you have such big birthmarks on your hands and feet, and the colors are different. That won't help you marry well either. When you 2 grow up, where will your mother find husbands for you?" Consort Shu spent the whole night, chattering away to her 2 daughters. Mother and daughters fell asleep without realizing it. About 4 hours later, Consort Shu felt something wet on her. She touched it. It was sticky too. Did both kids wet the bed? Attendants. The princesses have wet the bed. Change the princesses' clothes. Anyone here? Is no one on night duty today? As if remembering something, Consort Shu's body suddenly. That familiar feeling was back. Consort Shu looked down at the color of her clothes. Her pupils instantly dilated. Bright red. She went to bed wearing ivory white. Must have been well cared for after childbirth, to endure such a huge shock. And she still hasn't fainted from fear. "Woo-woo, female ghost, is that you? What do you want from me? I told you, I've never harmed anyone. Let me tell you something. You can bully me all you want, but my 2 daughters are princesses of Tianqi. They carry the royal bloodline. Ghosts who touch dragon blood die instantly. Don't you dare lay a finger on them." Consort Shu was filled with regret. How could she be so stupid? Why didn't she think the ghost would come at night? She's doomed her own daughter. What should I do? What should I do? Ha ha ha. The female ghost waved her hand. Consort Shu felt the scene before her flash. Her body began to float. Consort Shu looked down at the scene below. This was the Empress's Jingren Palace. A palace maid carrying clothes approached from afar. As the maid drew closer, Consort Shu was shocked to see it was the female ghost. Consort Shu gritted her teeth. She knew she wasn't the murderer. The maid pushed open the door to the supposedly empty chamber. Her eyes fell upon clothes scattered all over the floor. The maid in charge of the Empress's wardrobe recognized them instantly. The clothes on the floor were the Empress's undergarments, and a eunuch's attire. The sound of the door startled the two locked in passionate combat. The Empress ran out barefoot. Following her was the chief eunuch from the Emperor's side. Consort Shu, floating in the air, tightly covered her mouth. This is too outrageous. Is the Empress blind? Choosing eunuch Yen? No wonder the Shao family fell so quickly. So that's why. Woo woo woo. Consort Shu writhed and squirmed in the air. How preposterous. To know such a huge secret and have no one to share it with. This is torture. This agony made Consort Shu forget her fear. When the female ghost's face appeared before her, Consort Shu froze. She had genuinely forgotten about the ghost. A phrase automatically surfaced in her mind. Pregnancy brain lasts 3 years. I had 2, is it double the stupidity? 2 lines of bloody tears streamed down the ghost's pale face, both pitiful and terrifying. Consort Shu gathered her courage and spoke cautiously. The Empress has already fallen. You can rest in peace now. The ghost shook her head, so Consort Shu had to guess again. Do you have unfinished business? The female ghost nods. Consort Shu wishes she could slap herself a few times. Why did I have to open my big mouth? You can't speak either. There's no way I can guess what you want. The female ghost seems to understand something, and with a wave of her ghostly hand, the scene before Consort Shu shifts. It's a palace maid's dormitory room, a 2-person per room layout. Only one maid is inside. She's holding a mirror and crying. Sister, where are you? It's been a year, and there's been no word from you. Mom and Dad miss you so much. I've been in the palace for almost half a year now, asking everyone I can. But no one has any news of you. The female ghost sheds 2 more streams of bloody tears. Consort Shu is terrified. Please, no more blood. I'm scared to death by her. You want me to find this maid, and tell her about you? The female ghost nods, then shakes her head. Consort Shu is going crazy. She hates having to think. Consort Shu stops guessing and chooses silence. When Consort Shu is silent, the female ghost sheds bloody tears. Looking at the blood on the floor, already past her ankles, Consort Shu gives in. Stop crying. I get it. Find her. Tell her. Then get her out of the palace, so she can live a good life outside. The female ghost nods. Perhaps it's because she's become a mother. But Consort Shu has been especially emotional lately, seeing how the female ghost, even in death, still cares for her sister. Her sister became a palace maid. To find her, Consort Shu suddenly bursts into tears. Outsiders only see her recent glory. The emperor visits Chunhua Palace every day to see the princess. But who knows the torment in her heart? Same-sex twins are considered an ill omen. One child must be sent away. Yet the closer she grows to both children, the more her heart aches. She doesn't know which one will be taken. They're both flesh of her flesh. She can't bear to part with either. Thinking of this, Consort Shu cries even more bitterly. And so, the woman and the ghost weep loudly, as if no one else is around. I keep hearing strange noises in my ears. Sometimes a whine, sometimes a creepy cackle. I open my eyes. There's a dark, shadowy mass floating above me. Instinctively, I kick out with my little foot. It's the left one, still green and sticky from the mangpa soup, and it connects with the dark mass. I think I heard a howl in my daze. The shadow vanished. Shufei sat on the bed, stunned. She looked down at her white nightgown. Then she touched her face. It was wet with tears. The female ghost seems to have really left this time, leaving her heart feeling empty. Shufei's tears fell like broken strings of pearls, streaming down her face. Mother, why are you crying? And so sadly. Mother, please don't cry. It hurts my heart to see you like this. Seeing my usually radiant and beautiful mother crying like this, my heart ached too. The little infant's body also started wailing. The mother and daughter shared a heart. The eldest princess also wailed loudly on the bed. Shufei picked up both children. The mother and her 2 daughters cried their hearts out together on the bed. The commotion was simply too loud. It alarmed the palace attendants keeping watch outside. But Shufei didn't call for anyone to come in and serve her. Those outside could only fret anxiously, not daring to enter. A clever eunuch's eyes darted around. He immediately ran towards the emperor's bedchamber. Not long after, the emperor, wearing his night robe, appeared in Chuhua Palace. Emperor Zhongwen looked at the mother and daughter crying on the bed. He couldn't help but be moved. He didn't need to think to know why Shufei was crying. He too had been pondering the inauspiciousness of same-sex twins lately. Actually, this is a royal secret. It was in the 35th year of Tianqi. The empress gave birth to twin princes. Imperial succession favors the elder, not the younger. The elder brother became emperor, the younger was made a prince. But during a family banquet, the younger brother imprisoned the elder, and took his place as emperor. From then on, the Tianqi dynasty established an ironclad rule. From then on. For same-sex twins, only one may remain in the palace. The other is said to be exiled to a harsh, cold land, forbidden to marry or have children for life. But in truth, the child sent away does not survive. Emperor Zhongwen stepped forward. He wrapped his broad arms around the mother and her two daughters. Shufei, stop crying. I promise you, neither child will be sent away. Hearing the emperor's words, Shufei looked up, her eyes brimming with tears. Your Majesty, is that true? Shufei's eyes were red and swollen from crying. As she spoke, a big snot bubble actually popped out of her nose. Emperor Zhongwen awkwardly released his arms from around the three of them, and even took a step back. If that huge snot bubble pops, it's gonna go everywhere. He's tasted a man's spit, and touched a baby's pee, but he's not ready to get a concubine's snot all over him. Your Majesty, why are you standing so far away? Pop! The snot bubble burst. Ah! Mom, your snot just sprayed all over me and my sister. Mom, you're so gross. I flailed in Consort Shu's arms, and the eldest princess kept wiping her face on the swaddling cloth. Because of this, Consort Shu was struggling to hold both children. Seeing this, Emperor Wen stepped forward and took me, so Consort Shu only had to hold the eldest princess. Your Majesty, can I really keep them? Yes, don't worry. Have I ever lied to you? Don't worry. Your Majesty, you're so good to me. The palace maids fed the two princesses, changed their swaddling clothes, and after Consort Shu freshened up, seeing the emperor hadn't left, her face flushed. Your Majesty, I'm still in my postpartum month. I can't serve you. Emperor Wen was speechless. I won't do anything. I'll just stay here tonight and sleep beside you three. Consort Shu jumped onto Emperor Wen's lap. You're so good, Your Majesty. Neither adult noticed that the two babies rolled their eyes in perfect unison. The emperor went to the Chuhua Palace at midnight, and the news that he stayed overnight there quickly spread throughout the palace. Many speculated if Consort Shu would rise to empress because of her daughters. The other concubines were green with envy. The palace servants knew the score. From now on, they had to do their best for the Chuhua Palace. Consort Shu was favored now, and not to be crossed. With the emperor and her children by her side, Consort Shu slept peacefully through the night. In the middle of the night, she even had a good dream. In the dream, she saw that palace maid again, but this time, the maid looked calm, accepting a bowl handed to her by an old woman. Consort Shu saw it was a bowl of soup, a green soup, the same green as her daughter's hands and feet. The palace maid saw Consort Shu before drinking the soup. She quickly set the bowl aside. She kowtowed 3 times in Consort Shu's direction, so she went to be reborn. That's wonderful. I hope in your next life, you go somewhere you can make your own choices. Consort Shu sincerely wished her well. In the morning, Consort Shu awoke with a faint smile on her lips. She reached out to feel the space beside her. It was indeed empty. The child and the emperor were both gone, but before she could feel disappointed, a familiar voice reached her ears. You lazy girl, look at the time. Get up already, Mom. How did you get here? Consort Shu childishly rubbed her eyes, afraid that if she opened them again, her mother would be gone. So many times she had woken up to see her mother scolding her by her side, but just as she went to hug her, she grasped at air. This time, Consort Shu hugged her mother again. The real, solid feeling in her arms made Consort Shu burst into tears. Mom, it really is you. I missed you so much. Silly child, don't cry. This time, Mom is here to stay. The emperor has permitted me to stay and help you through your postpartum month. Really? Haha, that's wonderful. Mom, I have so much to tell you. Consort Shu talked with her mother all morning. She wasn't afraid of eavesdroppers. She's in favor now. You know, this is nothing. A favored consort should act like one. The pleasant days passed quickly. Under the meticulous care of her mother and grandmother, the two princesses reached their 1-month milestone. Half a month earlier, Emperor Wen had begun preparing the full-month banquet for his 2 daughters. On the 6th day of the 5th month, the princesses turned 1 month old. This past month, the 2 princesses ate and slept well. They've grown nice and plump, though the elder princess is still quite dark. The younger princess wore long garments to cover the birthmarks on her hands and feet. Early in the morning, Chuhua Palace was bustling with activity. There will be many people today. Keep a close eye on the 2 children. Consort Shu's mother, Lady Su, wife of the Marquis of Loyalty and Righteousness, instructed her daughter. Don't worry, today, the emperor has assigned eunuch Shi and matron Lin to stay by the princesses. No one would be so foolish. Consort Shu knows perfectly well. She gave birth to 2 princesses, not a prince. No matter how jealous others may be, they won't make a move while she and her daughters are still in favor. Your Highness, the palace banquet is about to begin. His Majesty requests your and the princess's presence in the main hall. Muji announces from the doorway. Consort Shu walks ahead, the children carried by their respective wet nurses. Along the way, she hears many words of congratulations. Consort Shu enters the whispering hall carrying her child. The emperor descends from the high platform and takes meat. Consort Shu turns to receive the eldest princess. For today's banquet, all the princes and nobles of the Tianqi imperial clan, civil and military officials, and ladies of the court have been invited. The emperor and consort Shu each hold a princess, standing on the high platform to receive congratulations. We are blessed with 2 princesses, a joyous occasion for the entire nation. Starting today, Tianqi will open its granaries and reduce taxes and levies. Ever since confiscating Grand Marshal Zhao's estate and seizing a huge sum of money from the Xiao family, Emperor Zhongwen has been like a man possessed. He swiftly confiscated the estates of several corrupt officials. Emperor Zhongwen, who shows no mercy in confiscations, is now flush with cash. This money will be used to feed the people and to accumulate blessings for the princesses. Heaven has bestowed a great task upon me. I will make Tianqi shine in the annals of history. May the Tianqi dynasty last for 10,000 generations. Long live the emperor. Long live. Long live. On this full moon celebration, the eldest princess is named Lin Zhaoyue. Bright and clever, her light like precious jade. Her title is Princess Xiaohua. The younger princess is named Lin Jinshu, bringing splendor to the household. Her beauty peerless. Her title is Princess Jinshu. We thank your majesty for bestowing these names. The chief eunuch stands on the high platform and shouts, let the banquet commence. The atmosphere was just right, but there's always someone who speaks out of turn. Your Majesty, Tianqi has an ancestral rule. For non-dragon and phoenix twins, one must be sent away from the palace. I dare to ask, which princess will your Majesty send away? And when? The hall falls silent. No one dares to look up. Thus, no one notices. That consort Shu shows not a hint of anxiety. Instead, she even takes the time to straighten her daughter's clothes. She trusts the emperor. He has never failed to keep his word. Emperor Zhongwen knows that someone would eventually use the 2 princesses as an issue. Better to address it himself than let others do it. After all, ancestral rules are hard to break. So the person asking the question down there was someone Emperor Zhongwen had arranged in advance. It was also Emperor Zhongwen's biggest supporter, Chancellor Wu. Chancellor Wu, do you know why the ancestral decree says one of a twin pair must be sent away? This subject does not know. It is for the stability of Tianqi. Since I ascended the throne, my offspring have been few. Therefore, the twin princesses will not be sent away. Do you have any further objections? No. Although it was a stretch, everyone could see this was most likely a staged act between the emperor and the chancellor. Who doesn't know the chancellor stands with the emperor? Plus, recently the emperor has been keen on confiscating properties. Everyone is trying to avoid getting involved. No one wanted to stick their neck out. But something that would convince the entire court the princesses were lucky charms was about to happen. By the window at the banquet, someone shouted loudly, dark clouds, huge patches of dark clouds. Everyone, come look. It's going to rain. The speaker's voice even trembled. Seeing the dark clouds, the older ministers began to shed tears. Tianqi hadn't seen a single drop of rain for several months. It was early May. If the drought continued like this, crops couldn't be planted, and Tianqi would be in danger next year. Emperor Zhongwen quickly walked out of the main hall. At that moment, lightning flashed and thunder rumbled in the sky. A fierce wind began to blow. This was the sign of a heavy rain coming. Heaven shows mercy to all living things. A divine blessing descends. Heaven bestows sweet dew to save the people. 1 drop, 2 drops, 3 drops. First just a few scattered ones. In an instant, raindrops as big as beans began to pound heavily on the ground. The rain poured down as if the sky had opened up. In just moments, the entire land of Tianqi was completely shrouded by a thick curtain of rain. The earth finally welcomed the long-awaited rain. More, let there be more. The crops are finally saved. Chancellor Wu was the first to kneel, raising his voice to shout. This rain is a congratulatory gift from heaven for the princesses. Congratulations to your majesty on obtaining lucky charms. Congratulations to your majesty. No one noticed the eldest princess, held in the wet nurse's arms. Her little mouth opened and closed, silently chanting, by the decree of the law, swiftly bring the rain. The heavy rain lasted from morning until dusk. It confirmed the 2 princesses were auspicious treasures, and temporarily resolved the great drought crisis in Tianqi. Over at the Chuhua Palace, Imperial Father, I'm so bored. I've seen enough of the Imperial Garden. Consort Shu held the eldest princess, who was fast asleep. Emperor Zhongwen held me as I played by blowing bubbles. Although both could hear my inner thoughts, Emperor Zhongwen had made it clear they must keep it from me. If I found out my thoughts were being overheard, I might stop sharing them. So their conversation played along with my inner monologue. Consort Shu, would you like to go for a walk? I wish to leave the palace, to observe the people's condition. Ah. Mother, quickly agree with Imperial Father. I really want to go out. Oh, right. I haven't seen the Prime Minister's clueless son in a while. That older brother is practically glowing with virtuous merit. I even promised to find him a partner. Your Majesty, perhaps we could visit Prime Minister Wu's residence? We owe him for the success of the princess's full moon banquet. That's why the 2 little princesses were able to stay so smoothly. Then let's visit Prime Minister Wu's home. I also promised to find a wife for his son, Wu Yi. Meanwhile, at the Prime Minister's residence. Father, you say the Emperor is coming to our home, and bringing Consort Shu and the 2 princesses? Yes, he says he wants to observe the people's condition, to see how the commoners are faring after the rain. Oh, and the Emperor specifically requested your company, so stay put at home these next few days. Before Wu Yi could reply, the Prime Minister's steward respectfully ushered in several guests. The Prime Minister, seeing the visitors, began to kneel. The Emperor, dressed in plain clothes, shook his head. I am just an ordinary citizen now. How could I let Prime Minister Wu kneel? Call me Master Lin. Greetings, Master Lin. Greetings, Madam Lin. Madam Wu, hearing of the Emperor's arrival, quickly brought her daughter, Wu Qing, to pay respects. No need for formalities, everyone. We left the palace to see how the people of Tianqi live. Prime Minister Wu, you're too recognizable. Let Wu Yi and Wu Qing accompany us. With the Emperor's decree to accompany him for fun, Wu Yi was over the moon. His old man was always on his case about idling around. He can't say that this time, can he? No problem, Master Lin. There's no place in the capital Wu Yi, don't know. Not the capital, outside the city. For this incognito tour, the Emperor and Wu Yi rode ahead on horseback. Consort Shu, Wu Qing, and 2 wet nurses shared a carriage. Each wet nurse held a princess, following behind. As they were leaving the Chancellor's residence, the usually quiet eldest princess suddenly struggled, reaching for the stone lion at the gate. Consort Shu thought she liked looking at it, so she deliberately carried her over to touch it. Then something jaw-dropping happened. The eldest princess just gave it a gentle push, and the big blue stone lion in front of the Chancellor's residence toppled over. The stone lion hit the ground with a loud crash. How? I've told you before not to be so the Chancellor of the whole realm, living so shabbily. Putting a fake stone lion at your gate is so embarrassing. Attendants. Later, send Chancellor Wu a pair of white jade lions for his gate. Chancellor Wu thought to himself, Your Majesty, do you even hear the ridiculous thing you're saying? But getting a pair of Imperial Guardian lions for free isn't so bad. After saying that, Emperor Zhongwen left with his entourage. He already knew his younger daughter had remarkable abilities. His elder daughter couldn't be ordinary either. But Emperor Zhongwen didn't understand. His elder daughter had been sleeping quietly for over a month. Why did she want to push the Chancellor's stone lion today? Did she have a grudge against stone lions? Chancellor's residence, study. Chancellor Wu looked at the yellow talisman paper the steward placed on the table. This was found inside the stone lion's belly. When the servants were cleaning it, Chancellor, I asked a master. This talisman is, the steward stammered, afraid to speak. What did the master say? Seeing Chancellor Wu about to lose his temper, the steward had to speak. The curse of no heirs. What? Say that again. Chancellor Wu was fuming with rage. No wonder neither his son nor daughter would find a partner. No partner, no marriage, how could there be heirs? That's exactly how you end the family line. Chancellor Wu found a perfectly reasonable excuse for why his son and daughter aren't getting married. Chancellor, the master says this talisman is extremely ominous. In any household where this talisman is placed, newborn children won't live past 1 year old. They'll die young. Chancellor Wu was shocked. Is that what it means? The young master and young lady never finding partners? Could it be related to this talisman? Chancellor Wu, unwilling to give up, asked again. The steward sighed. My lord's greatest worry is that these 2 older children of the house remain unmarried. The master said this talisman hasn't taken effect yet. If a child in the residence were to die because of it, the talisman would turn black. Chancellor Wu looked at the scorched yellow talisman and grew furious again. Not finding partners, the problem still lies with those 2 unlucky kids themselves. Understood. You may leave. He dismissed the steward. Chancellor Wu sat alone in his study, deep in thought. First, this talisman must be presented to His Majesty. This matter cannot be concealed, nor is it possible to hide it. His Majesty must already know by now. After all, it was the eldest princess who discovered it. Second, who wants to harm the Wu family? Not many families could pull off something so flawlessly. Eliminate those recently purged. That leaves only General Junbei, Marquis Jiangwo, and Prince Gong. There might be others, but his intuition tells him the culprit is among these few families. Chancellor Wu tapped the desk, lost in contemplation. Meanwhile, with the incognito group, Wu Yi had already escorted His Majesty's party out of the city. For this trip, Emperor Zhongwen left court affairs in Chancellor Wu's hands. He could be away for about half a month. So after leaving the city, the group didn't stop. They continued heading north. Before the rains came, the drought was most severe in the north. That's exactly where Emperor Zhongwen intended to go and see for himself. Master Lin, we've been out of the city for half a day. Should we let the ladies come out to rest for a moment? Yes. I need to get some fresh air. How thoughtful of you, young man. What a fine young man. I must find you a good wife. Emperor Zhongwen heard his daughter speak. Of course he agreed. Madam, let's get out and stretch our legs. Emperor Zhongwen personally helped Consort Shu down from the carriage. Then he went to get the children. They looked just like an ordinary couple. Consort Shu smiled gently. You must be tired too, dear. Riding a horse is exhausting. Not at all. It's rare to get out like this. I feel very relaxed. While they were resting in the woods, a convoy of carriages and horses approached from not far away. As they passed, they kicked up clouds of dust. Seeing this, the wet nurse, afraid the dust would bother the children, quickly carried the princesses back to the carriage. Cough, cough, cough. Consort Shu was still choked by the dust and couldn't stop coughing. After the carriages had passed, a young man of short stature turned back from ahead. He had delicate, handsome features, round face. What are you doing here? Wu Yi was surprised. What was this guy doing here? My family has a shipment that needs to go to Shanxing County. It's urgent, so I had to deliver it myself. The one called Round Face was Wu Yi's classmate. His name was Su Tangyan, and he was 19 this year. He was a year younger than Wu Yi and also unmarried. Like Wu Yi, he was an older bachelor. At the academy, the two were often teased as the bachelor duo. Wow! I want to go out. Let me touch him. This round-faced brother's golden aura of merit is even brighter than Wu Yi's. He's so young, yet his aura shines so brightly. Quick, let me see what earth-shattering thing he did. Wu Yi looked his classmate up and down. These plain clothes of yours make you look even rounder and shorter. Su Tangyan pouted. I'm delivering goods to the county. Can I wear brocade? You're such a young master, clueless about the hardships of life. Wu Yi, where are you headed? We're also going to Shanxing County. Emperor Zhongwen answered first. I want to go touch him, but I need a good reason. Let's travel together first and find an opportunity later. Although Wu Yi was puzzled, he dared not contradict the emperor, and so, the royal incognito group joined the Su family's convoy. Along the way, Wu Yi remained aloof. The one he called Round Face was very sociable. He could keep up with anything Wu Yi said, but the closer they got to Shanxing County, the more nervous Su Tangyan became. Now it was Wu Yi who became the talkative one. Brother Su, what's wrong? Hey, I really shouldn't be telling you this, but if I don't, I'm afraid you'll cause trouble. Oh, what is it that I can't know? Emperor Zhongwen's interest was piqued. Your father is the prime minister, a high official. Shanxing County recently got a new magistrate, and he's a bit, Wu Yi understood. There's definitely something fishy going on in Shanxing County. Brother Su is worried about causing trouble for his father. Normally he'd be scared, but now it's different. Who's standing next to him? The Emperor. What's he afraid of? Time to ride on someone's coattails. Wu Yi immediately thumped his chest. Brother Su, speak your mind freely. If anything happens, I've got your back. Su Tangyan disapproved. You idiot. It's people like you I'm worried about. Can't handle the situation, just make it worse, and hurt innocent people. Zhang Chuang, the son of Shanxing County's magistrate, is violent and cruel, unpredictable and temperamental. We'll be fine as long as we stay out of his way. My people have already investigated Zhang Chuang's movements in advance. He's going fishing west of the county today. If we enter from the east, we won't run into him. Wu Yi's jaw dropped in shock. He's that out of control, we have to check his schedule before going to Shanxing County, and then go around him. Su Tangyan was afraid Wu Yi wouldn't take it seriously, so he emphasized it again. Hey, don't you doubt it. When his father was first transferred here 2 months ago, he held a banquet for the local gentry. Guess what happened? More than half of the local wealthy families were carried out seriously injured. Those who came out said Magistrate Zhang dotes on his son excessively. Zhang Chuang saw the guests weren't eating. He thought the wealthy families looked down on him and his father. He felt insulted. He directly stabbed a chopstick into the thigh of the person next to him. Almost made the guy unable to have children. The other wealthy families were terrified and tried to run. Magistrate Zhang ordered the county guards to draw their weapons and suppress them, forcing the wealthy families to kneel in the middle of the hall, lining them up for Zhang Chuang to beat. They were only let go after Zhang Chuang got tired from hitting them. Emperor Zhongwen couldn't help but interject. A magistrate would dare to act like this? Didn't anyone report it to the higher-ups? Su Tangyan could tell from Wu Yi's attitude that this person was no ordinary figure. Yes, of course there is. But the county magistrate got off scot-free. He kept serving as the local official. Gradually, the wealthy households caught on. The magistrate has powerful connections. He has backing from above, that's why he dares to act so recklessly. After listening to Su Tangyan, Emperor Zhongwen said very seriously, I'd actually like to meet this Zhang Chuang. See just how arrogant he can be. The group traveled on with stops and starts. In just half a day, they reached Shanxing County. They entered the county town. The long journey had been pretty tiring for everyone. It was lunchtime. Everyone, I've been to Shanxing County a few times. I know a restaurant that's clean and hygienic. Lunch is on me, let's give it a try. When the incognito group saw the clean and hygienic restaurant Su Tangyan mentioned, they were all shocked. This is it, come on in. Don't let the small, humble look fool you. The food's actually good. Their wild herb salad is the best. Wu Yi didn't care where he ate, but could Master Lin handle this? Calling this place a restaurant is generous. It's basically a mud hut, with a few rickety tables inside. Emperor Zhongwen saw that it was indeed quite crowded. He took the lead and walked in. Looks fine to me. This'll do. Seeing him go in, everyone else followed. The group found a corner table, sat down, and waited for their food. Don't you guys feel like they're all staring at me? Emperor Zhongwen whispered to the group. Just waking up, I opened my big, round eyes and looked around. My mind automatically switched to snarky commentary mode. Of course they're looking. Look at what everyone else is wearing. And what are you guys wearing? Imperial Father, look at how everyone is sitting. And how about your group? Emperor Zhongwen and Consort Shu, who could hear my thoughts, indeed began to scrutinize their surroundings. They're right. While they themselves wore coarse cloth garments, they were clean, without a single patch. They sat upright, perfectly postured. They didn't look like they were here to eat, more like they were attending court. Consort Shu laughed. Sir, we must do as the locals do. After speaking, she relaxed her body, her posture slumping, and casually placed her hands on the table, looking much more natural. Su Tangyan began to explain. These are mountain vegetables that just sprouted after the heavy rain a few days ago. They're perfectly tender right now. Give them a try. In the palace, Emperor Zhongwen has tasted every delicacy, but such fresh dishes are a first for him. The plate held the washed mountain vegetables. Beside it was a bowl of egg sauce. Seeing Sir Lin just looking without picking up his chopsticks, Su Tangyan instantly understood. This gentleman doesn't know how to eat it. Sir Lin, like this. Su Tangyan picked up a bite of the wild vegetables, dipped them in the egg sauce, put them in his mouth, and then took a big mouthful of rice. It goes perfectly with rice like this. Wow, I really want to eat some too. Imperial Father, let me smell it too. Emperor Zhongwen took me from the wet nurse's arms and ate with one hand. his demeanor still composed. Delicious, delicious. It has a fresh, fragrant taste. Emperor Zhongwen was enjoying the meal. Boss, bring a plate of meat for everyone. Put it on my tab. The atmosphere was lively when an old man nearby chuckled. He came over to Sir Lin's side with a wine bowl. Sir, the moment you walked in, I had my eye on you. I thought, you must have taken a wrong turn in those fine clothes, and wouldn't come in. I never expected you to come in and even treat everyone to meat. This old man was quite sociable. Mid-sentence, right on the shoulder, he slapped Emperor Zhongwen. The slap startled Wu Yi so much his legs went weak, and he almost knelt down. Emperor Zhongwen wasn't angry. On the contrary, he was even happier. Boss, come here. I'm in a good mood today. Put everyone's bill on my tab. It's my treat. Emperor Zhongwen was genuinely happy. The simplicity of the common folk. The conversations free from any ulterior motives. This was the first time since adulthood he had eaten and drank so relaxed. Cheers! Consort Shu was also seeing the emperor like this for the first time, and she raised her wine bowl to join in the fun. Just as the atmosphere was at its peak, a group of men arrived at the entrance, with their leader striding into the restaurant. Well. Do you all have a death wish? Who gave you permission to laugh so loudly? The restaurant owner and all the diners saw the newcomers and knelt, begging for mercy. Spare us, Lord Wang. We won't dare do it again. The restaurant owner saw that the undercover group still hadn't knelt down. Unable to bear seeing these outsiders suffer, he gently tugged at Emperor Zhongwen's sleeve and whispered, Sir, don't take a loss right now. A wise man knows when to yield. Don't take a loss. Sir, kneel down quickly. A wise man knows when to yield. Could Emperor Zhongwen kneel? Of course not. Seeing this, the restaurant owner quickly crawled on his knees to Lord Wang. He took out a small piece of silver from his robe and offered it. Lord Wang glanced at the group standing motionless. He took the silver, then backhanded the owner across the face. What is this? You think this little money is enough to send us away? Get lost. Then he looked at Emperor Zhongwen with a challenge. Emperor Zhongwen couldn't take it anymore and was about to act. But Su Tengen beside him swiftly pressed down his rising hand. He whispered, Forgive me. Then he quickly took out 10 taels of silver from his own pocket, bowed, and handed it to Lord Wang. Please calm your anger, my lord. We're just passing through. Please be merciful. This is for your men to have a drink. Lord Wang tossed the silver up and down in his hand, then finally left with his men, cursing and grumbling. Before leaving, he even spat in Emperor Zhongwen's direction. Emperor Zhongwen watched the departing men, committing their faces to memory. The restaurant owner and the other diners only dared to stand up after the group had gone far away. Once up, everyone's good mood was gone. The owner bowed apologetically to Emperor Zhongwen. My apologies, things are just, well, sigh, like this here now. If you have no other business, you'd best leave as soon as possible. Thank you. Emperor Zhongwen looked at the clear handprint on the owner's face. His anger boiled within him. After Wu Yi paid the owner some extra silver, the group left the restaurant. Hey, you guys. This is exactly what I was afraid of. I didn't dare take you to a big restaurant. I never thought even hiding in a place like this, we'd still be targeted. Wu Yi was also furious. Sensing something in Su Tengen's words, he quickly asked, Su Tengen, what's really going on? Explain it clearly once and for all. Don't keep me in suspense. He didn't even call him Brother Su, just used his full name. That's how you know he's really pissed off. Hey, the way you're dressed, you look like easy targets. You were probably marked as soon as you entered the county. Shanxing County produces bluestone. Bluestone can be used for tabletops, rockeries, stone lions. The capital has many wealthy households, and it's close by. Transportation is convenient. Many stone merchants come here to buy bluestone. But after the new magistrate took office, any merchant, or anyone passing through who looks wealthy, every single one, after entering Shanxing County, gets detained by the authorities on some pretext. They're only released after paying a guarantee fee, promising not to cause trouble next time. Thud! Emperor Zhongwen kicked over the water bucket in front of him. Su Tengen, tell me, what is this guarantee fee? Su Tengen was startled by Master Lin's imposing manner. The guarantee fee is kind of like protection money. Pay it, and you can come and go freely in Shanxing County, just like the restaurant owner said. If you have no other business here, you should leave quickly, to avoid suffering even greater losses. After speaking, Su Tangyan looked worriedly at Wu Yi's furious face. He knows Wu Yi too well. The guy is stubborn as a mule. He can't stand injustice and always steps forward when there's trouble. I'm really uneasy about Wu Yi staying in Shanxing County. Imperial Father, don't be angry. Now that we're here, Shanxing County will be fine. I believe Imperial Father will bring justice to the people. Imperial Father, I want to see how round-faced brother earned his great merit. Great merit means he once saved many people. What kind of event could put many people in danger at once? I want to see what happened. Emperor Zhongwen thought for a moment. I'm right. We need to find out if there was some major crisis. Master Su, please hold my little daughter for a moment. I need to use the restroom. Huh? Okay. Su Tangyan was a bit puzzled. Master Lin has so many female family members. Why ask me to hold the child? Seeing how Su Tangyan held the child, Wu Yi knew this guy had definitely never held a baby this small. Wu Yi, with his baby holding experience, stepped up to instruct him. Support here with your hand, got it? When Wu Yi's hand grasped Su Tangyan's hand, I clearly felt round-faced brother's body stiffen considerably, and I even saw the tips of his ears turn viciously red. No way, right? Wu Yi mentioned something earlier. They're the only two confirmed bachelors in the academy. Just as Wu Yi was about to wrap his arm around Su Tangyan's waist, Su Tangyan simply pushed me, who he was holding, toward Wu. I'm not great with kids. You hold her. With that, he turned and mounted his horse. Hey, you're always so careless. Good thing I caught her fast, or she would have fallen. Emperor Zhongwen and Consort Shu are all ears, eavesdropping. As someone who's been there, if I don't bring it up, they won't even notice. I see the person holding me has changed to Wu Yi. Can't touch round-faced brother anymore. Touching Wu Yi is just as good. Struggling to break free from the swaddle, my little green hand reaches for Wu Yi's smooth chin. Wu Yi looks down, right into these green hands. Oh no, again? Wah, again? My heart aches for you. The golden light of their virtue and merit shines so brightly. They're such good people. Why did they choose such a difficult path for themselves? In my past life, I was a single dog, a seasoned fujoshi. Hearing my thoughts, Emperor Zhongwen's heart aches for them too. Did I forget to feel sorry for someone else? Heavens! He actually kind of wants to see Chancellor Wu's expression when he learns the truth. Emperor Zhongwen is startled by his own mischievous thought. When did he become so trivial? Seeing I'm starting to doze off again, Emperor Zhongwen steps forward and announces to everyone, we're not leaving. We'll rest and regroup in Shanxing County for the next few days. The incognito team isn't surprised by Emperor Zhongwen's decision, but Su Tang is taken aback. Hey, what are you all doing? Looking to die? You have a perfectly good life, and you're asking for trouble? My final warning is useless. I can only suggest you come with me. After all, I've been here a few times. Our family has a shop in Shanxing County. Stay at the Su family grain store these next few days. At least I can keep an eye on you, as long as you're in Shanxing County, where exactly you stay. Emperor Zhongwen has no objections, and he also wants to see how Yi gets along with Su Tangyan. The travelers settle in at the Su family grain store. In the evening, Consort Shu takes the children to cool off in the courtyard. Su Tangyan, having looked over the accounts all day, also comes out of his room. I've finally caught the person I was looking for. Babbling, I try to go towards Su Tangyan. Consort Shu understands what I want. She carries me as she walks towards Su Tangyan. Good evening, young Master Su. Could you help me watch the child for a bit? My arms are so sore from carrying him all day. Oh, sure. Su Tangyan actually likes children very much. Since childhood, due to some reasons, he had few friends and often felt lonely. This time, my little green hands finally get to touch. Round-faced brother? No, it turns out it's round-faced sister. I see. Round-faced sister actually has 5 older sisters. Her mother also died in childbirth giving birth to her. Her father didn't want to remarry, so he just told everyone she was a boy. Honestly, it's not like there's a throne to inherit. Why make your child pretend to be a boy? Wu Yi is about to push the door open when he freezes in place. A voice appears in his mind. What did the voice say? The voice said who's pretending to be a boy? An image automatically pops into Wu Yi's mind. Last summer, several of his classmates got married one after another. Annoyed by his father pressuring him to marry, he invited Su Tangyan, also unmarried and of age, for an outing. Passing by a large river and seeing no one around, he took off his clothes and went into the river to bathe. Come on in, round face. The water's cool, feels great. I'm afraid of water. You swim by yourself. Look how red your face is, like a ripe persimmon. We're both men, what are you afraid of? The more he thought about it, the redder Wu Yi's face got. Could the round-faced sister the voice mentioned be his round-faced brother? Wu Yi's red thread of fate is so thin because he hasn't realized his feelings yet. He likes round-faced sister without even knowing it himself. In that year of great disaster, there was war and chaos. Round-faced sister went out one day and never came back. Only after losing her did he realize how much he missed and liked her. But it was too late. Wu Yi stayed single for the rest of his life. These two, their love story is truly bitter. Round-faced brother could get lost. For 5 years, the two of them were together almost every day. He never once thought about being separated from round-faced brother, but His Majesty the Emperor has already quelled the man-made disasters ahead of time. And preparations have been made for natural disasters, so it's not as turbulent. Round-faced sister probably won't go missing now, right? Oh no, oh no. I gotta pee. Consort Shu hurried over at that moment. Young Master Su, give the child to me. She's squirming around. She probably needs to pee. Consort Shu carried me into the inner chamber to take care of it. Wu Yi also came to his senses. The inner voice he heard was mine. Wu Yi waited until the heat on his face had mostly subsided, before coming out of the room. Are you settling in alright? Seeing Wu Yi come out, Su Tangyan asked. Yes, Brother Su. You're also an only child. How come I've never heard you mention your family pressuring you to get married? Wu Yi stared intently at Su Tangyan, trying to read something from his face. Sure enough, Su Tangyan avoided his gaze. My father says a man should establish his career before starting a family. So he doesn't pressure me about marriage. Impossible. Wu Yi gets pressured by his own father about marriage every single day. It's driving him crazy. He doesn't believe there's an old man out there who doesn't pressure his son to marry. So Su Tangyan must be hiding something. Wu Yi glanced at Su Tangyan again, then turned and walked outside. He needed to think carefully about what I just said. He was so deep in thought, he didn't even notice it had gotten dark. When he finally stopped, he realized he had run into the mountain forest. Looking around, the scenery was the same in every direction. Every now and then, unknown animals would cry out. Wu Yi realized with a start that he was lost. Hey! A sudden human voice startled Wu Yi. Losing his footing, he tumbled down the hillside. Ah! Help! Ghost! Su Tangyan, who was left standing there, face-bombed in exasperation. You're the ghost. Your whole family are ghosts. Huh? Su Tangyan, what are you doing here? Who else would it be? You're running out alone in the middle of the night. How could I not follow you? Hearing Su Tangyan's reply, Wu Yi felt a warmth in his heart. I said Su Tangyan might go missing. The thought of her possibly being in danger made Wu Yi's heart ache as if pierced by needles. No, I can't let anything happen to Su Tangyan. Wu Yi was now certain of his own feelings. Su Tangyan, I sprained my ankle. Come down and keep me company. Having figured it out, Wu Yi smiled. My old man is gonna be thrilled. Ah, how could you be so careless? Wait there, I'm coming down to get you. At the same time, Consort Shu and Wu Qing were in the room playing with the children. Madam Lin, your 2 children are so well behaved. They've hardly cried or fussed the whole way, and they still have that milky baby smell. That's because you haven't seen it. These 2 are quite a handful. The older one won't drink breast milk, only goat's milk. The younger one isn't picky, but he's restless all day. He naps for a bit and is full of energy for hours. Just as we're talking, he wakes up, his big, round eyes blinking brightly. Wu Qing couldn't help but pick me up and dote on me. Potty first. This kid is in a hurry. He always needs to go right after waking up. A true mother indeed. Wu Qing opened the swaddle and had just placed the potty underneath. When I comfortably squinted my eyes, Wu Qing held the cleaned up me and paced around the room. Consort Shu saw her daughter's little green hand reaching out again. Consort Shu glanced at her older daughter, who was sleeping soundly. She then found a comfortable position, ready to listen to some gossip. Eavesdropping on her daughter's real-life stories is much better than watching a play. Let me see. Why doesn't Sister Qing find herself a partner? Huh? Dizzy. My head is so dizzy. Just as Consort Shu grew nervous and wanted to check on me, Sister Qing's world is all numbers and ledgers. In modern times, she'd be a total workaholic. She's completely clueless about love, not a single red thread of fate on her. Consort Shu thought that was all the gossip for today. Then she saw me struggling to kick off the swaddle, and then revealed a little red foot. Oops, let me flip through the book of matches and take a look. The Chancellor is going bald worrying about his children's marriages. To make sure the Chancellor serves His Majesty well, we must find a match for Sister Qing. Suddenly, Wu Qing burst out laughing. Consort Shu was also cracking up. Sister Qing, have you no manners? Doesn't your conscience hurt? Mocking a little baby like that. Wah, this is so embarrassing. Turns out, I finally managed to pull my foot out of the swaddle, but I didn't control the force well, and I stuck my little chubby foot right into my own mouth. That's not all. Out of baby instinct, I even held my foot and gave it a couple of sucks. That's the scene that sent the two adults into hysterics. Humph, laugh, laugh, laugh. Think you're so good at laughing, huh? Hearing my angry words, Consort Shu laughed even harder. In revenge, I smacked my foot right onto Wu Qing's face. Ha 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 ha. Consort Shu was really dying of laughter. This little girl is definitely doing it on purpose. Humph, and I was thinking of finding you a match. Forget it, I'm not helping anymore. But my little red foot was already pressed against Wu Qing's cheek. The book of matches activated on its own. Wu Qing. Scarlet Star of Passion? I've heard of the Red Phoenix Star. But what in the world is the Scarlet Star of Passion? I frantically flipped through the book of matches. Scarlet Star of Passion, it's basically a debt-collecting romance. The match that appears for Sister Qing this time is someone coming to collect a debt from her. I used my green hand to touch Wu Qing's face again. It changed. Sister Qing's life path has changed. His Majesty will order her execution in Shanqing County. What do I do? No one can understand my baby talk. What kind of nonsense is this? Come out to play and kill someone's daughter, and her father is the Chancellor of the nation. His Majesty is digging his own grave. Wah 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 wah. I was so anxious I started wailing. Consort Shu had already stood up the moment she heard the Emperor wanted to kill Wu Qing. Your Highness, what's wrong with the young miss? She was fine just now. Wu Qing was a bit flustered. She had seen how much His Majesty doted on me the whole way here. It's fine, it's not your fault. She might be hungry. Wet nurse, come take a look at the young miss. Go. Consort Shu handed me to the wet nurse. To tell him about this, go find I'm too small right now. I can't say many things properly. They can only guess the general idea. After Consort Shu finished telling the Emperor what happened, Emperor Zhongwen had a suspicion. My lady, I have an idea. Let's discuss it. Before Consort Shu could reply, Emperor Zhongwen continued. Wu Qing's fate will appear in Shanqing County. Not a good match, but a cursed one. And the person Wu Qing falls for will surely be the one I hate most. Or perhaps the two of them did something together. That made me lose my mind, leading me to kill Wu Qing, disregarding the Prime Minister. And in Shanqing County, the person I currently hate the most is the county magistrate and his son. The magistrate is too old. So Wu Qing's cursed match must be the magistrate's son, Zhang Chuang. Consort Shu looked at him with stars in her eyes. Your Majesty, you're amazing. Our daughter's words were so vague, yet you managed to figure it out. Emperor Zhongwen was very pleased with Consort Shu's admiration. It should happen in the next few days. Keep an eye on Wu Qing. That girl is naive and inexperienced, unable to see people's true intentions. Don't let her be easily deceived. Don't worry, Your Majesty. I will complete the task. The next morning, everyone was having breakfast in the courtyard. Brother Su, eat more meat. It'll give you strength. Brother Su, try this side dish. It's very fresh. All morning, Wu Yi was seen fussing over Su Tang'an. One moment offering water, the next asking if he was cold. The Emperor asked Consort Shu, what's going on with these two? How did Wu Yi become like this after just one night? Consort Shu glanced at Wu Yi and said with a pout, last night, I don't know what got into Wu Yi. He went into the mountains after dark. He got lost and injured his leg. Young Master Su carried him back. Maybe Wu Yi is grateful for young Master Su saving his life. The Emperor shook his head. It doesn't look like that. I feel like Wu Yi has had an awakening. Did he discover something? Emperor Zhongwen was rarely this gossipy. Yesterday, Consort Shu also told him that Su Tang'an is a woman. Emperor Zhongwen was even happy for the Prime Minister. Speaking of the Prime Minister, Emperor Zhongwen remembered the secret letter he received last night. There was a talisman inside one of his stone lions. A talisman meant to make his family die without heirs. The Prime Minister begged him to find out who's behind it. I wonder who has so much free time and the energy to mess with this supernatural nonsense. Your Master Lin. Su Tang'an will be delivering goods to the farmers later. Do we have any plans for today? Emperor Zhongwen saw Wu Yi looking like he wanted to follow Su Tang'an. He said calmly, we have no plans. Let's go with her. Sure enough, upon hearing he could go with Su Tangyan, Wu Yi was so happy he almost jumped for joy. Su Tangyan was annoyed by Wu Yi's enthusiasm. Wu Yi, what's wrong with you? Are you out of your mind? I already told you, carrying you back yesterday was just what a brother should do. You don't have to act like this. Hearing Su Tangyan say this, Wu Yi finally understood why his father used to get so angry. Su Tangyan is so clueless, it's frustrating. He's been making it so obvious, and Su Tangyan hasn't noticed at all. Young Master Wu Yi got angry too. He stormed off to ride his horse alone, ignoring Su Tangyan. Emperor Zhongwen and Consort Shu shook their heads helplessly at these two. The Prime Minister's family wants a wedding, but it seems it'll be a long time yet. Consort Shu called Wu Qing to join her in the carriage. The group then set off, following Su Tangyan. When the carriage stopped on a patch of wasteland, Consort Shu helped the eldest princess, and Wu Qing carried me out of the carriage for some air. Wu Yi, don't be angry. I'll listen to whatever you say next time, okay? Seeing Wu Yi hadn't spoken to her the whole way, Su Tangyan couldn't help but try to appease him. That's how they were. They had an agreement. After an argument, if someone offers an olive branch, you must take it. Sure enough, Wu Yi smiled and started talking to Su Tangyan. Round face, aren't you supposed to be delivering goods? What are you doing in this wasteland? This isn't wasteland. This is all prime farmland. After saying this, Su Tangyan cautiously glanced at Lord Lin. She had thought about it all night. Why did Lord Lin stop in Shanxing County and not leave? Combined with Wu Yi blurting out the word emperor this morning, Su Tangyan wasn't stupid. This Lord Lin was the current emperor. Su Tangyan originally didn't want to cause trouble, but this is the emperor. The emperor himself has come. Su Tangyan wanted to do something for the people of Shanxing County. Wu Yi, hurry up. Round face. Explain it to us. Why is this prime farmland left empty and not cultivated? Su Tangyan sighed. Magistrate Zhang won't allow it. Anyone who tries to farm gets arrested by the authorities and thrown in jail. Wu Yi was shocked. He won't let the common people farm? What is this Magistrate Zhang trying to do? I'm delivering grain to Magistrate Zhang, to the government granary. Seeing the emperor remain silent, Su Tangyan steeled her heart. Your Majesty, 9 out of 10 of the county's granaries are empty. And half of the one that isn't empty isn't even grain. It's just sand, to make up the numbers. The weather has been good in Tianxi these past few years. But Magistrate Zhang forbade the farmers from planting crops. Shanxing County has had 2 consecutive years of failed harvests. The local people themselves don't have enough to eat. There's simply no surplus grain to supply the court. This year's drought means no new harvest, and the court has no reserves. Countless people in Tianxi will starve to death. Su Tangyan finished speaking and quickly knelt, awaiting the emperor's punishment. Wu Yi, fearing Emperor Zhongwen's true anger, also hurriedly knelt beside Su Tangyan. Your Majesty, I believe what Su Tangyan says. Her family is in the grain trade. She wouldn't lie. Emperor Zhongwen stood there without speaking. Wu Yi and Su Tangyan remained kneeling on the ground. Everyone thought the emperor was furious, but Emperor Zhongwen knew himself. It wasn't just anger, it was more a chilling fear. Shanxing County is less than 100 miles from the capital, and it has a magistrate like this. What must the whole of Tianxi be like? Rise. It's not your fault. You haven't erred. On the contrary, you've done me a great. Just then, a group of riders charged over from the distance. Leading them was a young man, Imperial Father. Accursed fate. Sister Qing's debt collector is here. Get her into the carriage. If they don't meet, it'll be fine. Consort Shu suddenly cried out, my stomach hurts so much. Wu Qing, please help me into the carriage to rest. Huh? Mother's stomach hurts? Must be from eating too much cold food this morning. But well done, Mother. The timing of this stomach ache is perfect. Sigh. A love tribulation with no solution. Best to hide for now. Su Tangyan, who had been kneeling, quickly stood up upon seeing the newcomer, and went forward to greet him with a smile. Young Master Zhang, what brings you here? I was just on my way to deliver grain to Magistrate Zhang. Su Tangyan adopted a very humble posture. Wu Yi sized up the newcomer. Zhang Chuang was a fair-skinned youth. His features were delicate, with narrow, slightly upturned eyes, giving off an indescribable roguish air. Wu Yi glanced at the carriage again. The little princess said he'd be my sister's cursed fate? Zhang Chuang dismounted and stared at Emperor Zhongwen. He saw clearly. The merchant delivering rice to his family had just been kneeling to this man. This man has an air of importance, not like an ordinary person. Has some big shot arrived in their business between him and father must not be exposed. Zhang Chuang asks, Su, who is this official, that you have to kneel to receive him? Emperor Zongwen sees that the newcomer is Zhang Chuang, the one who, along with his father, has been causing trouble in Shanxing County. He's arrived just in time. Just as he was about to signal the hidden guards to arrest everyone, he heard me speak. When you're out and about, you create your own identity. Imperial father, fool him. Fool him senseless. Emperor Zongwen immediately changed his mind and put on a smile, adopting a humble posture. Young Master Zhang, hello. Su Tangyan is my worthless son. He made a mistake and is currently apologizing to me. How clever Su Tangyan is. He quickly chimed in, Young Master Zhang, sorry you had to see this. I thought this place was remote, and few people come by, so I knelt to apologize, but you still ended up seeing me. Oh? What mistake did you make? To make your father so angry? He didn't expect Zhang Chuang to keep asking. Su Tangyan couldn't come up with an answer right away. This Zhang Chuang must be suspicious of us. After all, the things they're involved in could cost them their heads. Being paranoid is in their nature. We're so few in number, and there are women and children with us. A strong dragon can't suppress a local snake. We'd suffer a huge loss. Emperor Zongwen thought, my daughter is still too naive. Although he's traveling incognito, there are still plenty of masters hidden in the shadows. Dealing with these country bumpkins is no problem at all. Just as Su Tangyan was at a loss, and Emperor Zongwen couldn't keep making things up, Wu Yi suddenly knelt before Emperor Zongwen. Please, let me be with Tangyan. We are truly in love. Emperor Zongwen understood instantly and played along. He gave Wu Yi a cold glance. He genuinely looked down on him from the bottom of his heart. This guy is utterly shameless. You two are not suitable. Stop pestering my Tangyan. You even chased him all the way from the capital to Shanxing County. I'm telling you, if I see you following I'll break your legs. Su Tangyan was completely stunned. This was a scene she had fantasized about countless times. In her fantasies, Wu Yi would tell her he liked her. Now she's really heard it. Wu Yi said he likes her. Tears stream uncontrollably from her eyes. Upon hearing the emperor say he'd break Wu Yi's legs, Su Tangyan immediately went to Wu Yi's side, and knelt on the ground with him. Father, I truly love Wu Yi. Please, let us be together. Wu Yi pressed close to Su Tangyan, and wrapped his arm around her shoulder. Tangyan, don't cry. Seeing you cry breaks my heart. Su Tangyan looked at Wu Yi through tear-filled eyes. Is everything you said true? You really like me? It's true. We've been by each other's side for 5 years. I can't live without you anymore. No matter how difficult things get, we'll face them together. Okay. We'll face them together. Hand in hand, they looked at the emperor with determined eyes. Now it was the emperor who couldn't tell what was real. What was he going to say next? The emperor looked to Zhang Chuang for help. Zhang Chuang was stunned. Two men were in love, and crying like this? No wonder they came to a secluded place. Zhang Chuang rolled his eyes dramatically. He couldn't even be bothered to speak. He turned and left with his men. Seeing Zhang Chuang was far away, Emperor Zongwen looked down at the two sobbing figures, and shook his head helplessly. I never thought coming to Shanxing County would actually get Wu Yi married off. Stop crying. They're long gone. When we return to the capital, I will arrange your marriage. Wu Yi quickly let go of Su Tangyan, and led her in kowtowing to Emperor Zongwen. Thank you, Your Majesty. In the carriage, Wu Qing was drawn by the voice outside. She wanted to lift the curtain several times to see who it was, but was stopped each time by the imperial consort. Now, hearing the person outside had left, Wu Qing clutched her chest, feeling a sharp pain in her heart. A quarter of an hour later, led by Su Tangyan, the group arrived at the county granary. Workers were moving goods. Su Tangyan showed Emperor Zongwen around each granary. You see, these are all empty. The rice the magistrate is buying now is for the county office's own use. The people have no grain at home. If there's a drought this year, many will starve to death next year. Emperor Zongwen didn't say another word until they had left the county office. The entire county granary is empty, empty. Those words kept repeating in his mind. Shanxing County is less than 100 li from the capital. How could such a thing happen right under the emperor's nose? Could it be even worse in other prefectures and counties? That night, Emperor Zongwen was deeply unsettled. He was so troubled he couldn't sleep. He could only carry me around the courtyard, trying to calm himself down. Magistrate Zhang deserves to die. With good weather, he forbids farming. What is he trying to do? Unconsciously, Emperor Zhongwen voiced his doubts aloud. Hearing the emperor's words, I immediately chimed in. It is strange. He's doing something that harms others without benefiting himself. That's just evil. But Magistrate Zhang's actions seem like those of a spy. Like he was sent by an enemy state to harm us, a word that wakes the dreamer. The point that puzzled Emperor Zhongwen was now clear. With a direction, things became much easier to handle. In the following days, Chancellor Wu led troops into Shanxing County. They surrounded the county magistrate's office. Magistrate Zhang and his son, Zhang Chuang, were arrested. Under Chancellor Wu's interrogation, Magistrate Zhang confessed. He was a spy sent by the Jin Kingdom. His goal was to commit evil in Tianqi, to incite unrest among the people and reduce Tianqi's population. Chancellor Wu was furious. He ordered the Zhang father and son imprisoned in cages and paraded through the streets for 3 days. 3 days later, they were to be publicly executed as a warning to others. On the day of Zhang Chuang's execution, Wu Qing, who was playing with me in the grain shop's backyard, suddenly felt a sharp pain in her chest, and fainted. Wu Qing felt herself floating. Carried by the wind, she drifted out of the courtyard. From the air, she saw many people running in one direction. She heard them shouting, "Kill them! Kill them!" She finally saw it clearly. It was the execution platform. 2 people were kneeling on the platform. Wu Qing looked at the young man on the platform. She felt he could also see her floating in the sky. Because she heard him speak in her direction, "Found you." Chancellor Wu sat on the high platform overseeing the execution. "Time's up. Execute them immediately." Chancellor Wu raised his hand. The execution token was thrown to the ground with a sharp crack. Hovering in midair, Wu Qing screamed her heart out. "Father, no!